With that, we've come to the end of the sort of the formal 6 questions, and we want to ask you to ask each other questions. And I'm going to give the opportunity for Mr. Sanders to begin and ask Mr. Candon a question.
Mr. Candon, it is generally regarded that Newt Gingrich and his friends are running the most right-wing reactionary Congress in the modern history of the United States of America. You have made it clear that you would vote for Mr. Gingrich for Speaker, which means that that type of ideology will be the prevalent ideology in the United States Congress. Why would you support such a right-wing extremist as Mr. Gingrich?
Well, I'd just like to say this, that it looks to me like the Republican Revolution, which took place in this country 4 years ago, has done a very good job, because we have now balanced the first budget in 29 years. And this all took place on Mr. Sanders' watch. And, you know, I just came back from Washington, and there's Republican congressmen in Washington that don't know how to pronounce Mr. Sanders' last name. This is how far away he is from where the power is in the Congress of the United States. Now, you know, I think I can work with the Republican majority. I'm a Vermonter. I come from bipartisan roots. I have a history of consensus making in my 4 years in the Vermont legislature. And I'm happy to work with anyone. And you know what? I think I can bring them around to the Vermont point of view. And I'm going to be in a much better position than our current congressman to do so.
Well, you've only used a minute of your time. I'll give you about an equal amount of opportunity to question Mr. Sanders. You have one question for Mr. Sanders?
Yes, I do.
We're going to give him about a minute and 10 seconds to respond.
Here in Vermont, we have watched job after job and industry after industry leave because of an anti-business environment, an environment you have championed. I think you love chaos and encourage class warfare. Can you name right now one private sector job that you are directly responsible for bringing to Vermont in the 8 years that you have been in Congress?
First of all, Mr. Candon, I'm not the governor of the state of Vermont. You're a little bit confused. I'm the United States congressman. And I am very happy to have helped bring in money to the city of Burlington and other communities around the state which are being used for economic development. But second of all, when you talk about the fact that jobs are leaving the state of Vermont, you just told us a few minutes ago that the economy is booming. And now you're telling us that the economy in the state of Vermont is not doing well for middle class and working families, and you're absolutely right. But I'll tell you why the economy is not doing well for middle class families and the role that I've helped play in Congress. At least I fought to raise the minimum wage against your friend, Mr. Gingrich, so that people now have at least a minimum standard of living. I have fought against our disastrous trade policies. You don't want to know why jobs are leaving? They're not just leaving the state of Vermont. They're leaving the United States of America. We have a $200 billion trade deficit. If you go to a department store, you know where the products are manufactured? They're manufactured in China by American corporations that are paying workers there 20 cents an hour. And they're manufactured in Indonesia. They're manufactured in Mexico. Our current trade policy is a disaster. It has cost us millions of jobs, and I've led the effort against that, and I'm proud of it.